Silver prices have rallied up to $51.24, meaning that I was probably right when I said that mid-40s was the bottom. See, we went into extreme overbought territory with a very, very, very sharp rally, meaning that when the pullback happened, it was also going to be very extreme. But when we hit mid-40s and it held its ground for a while, that was showing me that that's the bottom. You better take advantage of it because it's looking like that's ground zero and it's only going to start going up once we get out of that, which is exactly what happened. We were at mid 40s and now we are going back up, broke past 50, and now we are heading towards all-time highs again. So hopefully you took advantage of that dip, that pullback. A lot of people buy high, sell low. A lot of people probably sold during mid 40s when they bought in at all-time highs thinking they made a mistake. And this is just proof that you gotta just look at things realistically, logically. You gotta step back and say, okay, well, we saw a very, very, very fast, sharp rally, so we're of course going to see that on the opposite side when price is correct. But now we stabilized, which that correction was actually a good thing for prices to hold its ground, because now we're going back up to 52, 53, and now we have a bottom at 45, whereas before our bottom was what? 30s. Do you see why corrections are actually the correct thing for it to do and why pullbacks are actually healthy, as long as you don't panic sell and you take advantage of that dip? Anyways, though, first and foremost, welcome. Thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer, and if you want the latest information of what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of silver, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell. A couple of announcements. I am doing a silver giveaway. I'm giving away not one, not two, but three brilliant uncirculated 2025 Silver Eagles. I might even throw in a little extra gift as well. The entry video is live. Also, my book, Silver is the New Gold, is getting released on Christmas Day. So mark your calendars, and it'll be available for paperback and ebook, maybe even an audiobook. I recommend the paperback because I'll be signing them as well. I'll try to make them affordable. I'm not doing this to profit. I really just wanted to write a book, put everything I know about silver, my journey, and, try to spread the word. And one last thing, it is Veterans Day, so this only seems right to do. First and foremost, thank you, veterans, for your service. I know several of you have served and have sacrificed so much, and I want to be able to give back, right? I want to be able to give back. I partnered with a company called American Medical Experts. This is actually the only channel sponsorship I've ever done, besides like Miles Franklin, and I talked to Andy about it, but I really wanted to promote this company because they help veterans get the health benefits, the medical benefits they deserve. That's either mental or physical, right? Mental health or physical health. And you can get $200 off your Nexus letter if you use my link. The Nexus letter, you can look into it more, but that's kind of what you write to get these benefits. But you don't have to go to a doctor in person. They have doctors through telehealth, and you can get a free consultation if you click the link in my description. I talked to the owner of this company when I first partnered with them. He's a great guy. He's also a silver stacker, and the VA unfortunately just doesn't live up to its expectations, and that's why he started this company. And they're great, right? They're very legit. They have A+ on the Better Business Bureau. They even have rush service options if you don't want to be pushed back or anything. If you take care of yourself, folks, right? Take care of yourself. If you're a veteran and you're struggling, whether it's mentally or physically with anything disability wise, or maybe you just didn't know where to go, or the VA just didn't seem like a good option, please take advantage of this. I'm honored to be able to offer this service, and this is not for money, honestly. I don't take these types of sponsorships to profit. I just want to be able to give you guys an option out there, especially for those that serve this country. So anyways, yeah, you can click the link in my description to get a free consultation. It will say like Slayer's Med Team. The guy really, really likes my channel, and you know, it's cool to be able to work with them. So anyways, let's jump into the video. So now let's talk about what's happening with silver. And I do appreciate you listening through all of the announcements. I really do. So silver rises near $51 amid dovish Fed expectations. Silver continues its advance, supported by the prospect of further Federal Reserve rate cuts. Weak U.S. data maintains safe haven appeal despite the resolution of the U.S. government shutdown. The U.S. dollar steadies slightly, but remains under pressure from dovish Fed expectations. So this is one article. We also have another one that we might go over. This is how high can silver fly? I like this article because they do pose this question, and they go into, you know, some interesting points. This is another one I thought was pretty interesting. Silver broke out above $50 again, once again surpassing the growth of Bitcoin in the year to date. So, you know, silver is still in the spotlight. Silver is still breaking people's expectations. A lot of people were in the I told you so mode, thinking that $50 was long gone again, thinking that 45 wasn't the bottom, that it was going to keep going downwards. But you just, I guess maybe since I've been into these markets for so long, I've seen the patterns. I can recognize what things do and why they do it and when they do it. But some people don't base things off of logistics. They base it off of what they feel is going to happen. They have a hunch. That's not how you invest. Maybe with other things, but you got to invest with your head, not your heart, right? Because the emotions, that's where irrational decision making comes in. That's where impulse buying or panic selling, and you're just kind of, you're not thinking about it. A lot of people, that's how they invest. But, you know, obviously, very sharp rally. So we're going to see a very sharp pullback. Exactly what we saw. But since the pullback stayed at 45, that's showing that that's probably the bottom because people are buying. And if that's the bottom, then of course it's going to go back up, especially since we broke through all-time highs. It just made sense. But do you see how me looking at it like that compared to someone who's not thinking like that could be so dangerous, and why a lot of people lose money investing? So anyways, so yeah, let's jump into this one. So silver rises near 51 amid dovish Fed expectations. So silver trades around $51 on Tuesday at the time of writing, up 0.90% for the day, extending its 3-day winning streak. The metal benefits from growing speculation that the Federal Reserve will continue its monetary easing cycle in December. Markets currently price in a more than 60% chance of a new rate cut, according to the CME Fed Watch tool, reinforcing investor appetite for non-interest bearing assets such as silver. Oh, I wanted to mention something too. It's probably more interesting than what this is. And that's why, like, with my channel, I don't like talking about stuff that isn't that important. Like, I doubt you care about the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index dropping 50.3 in November. I doubt you care about that, because I really don't either. But someone asked, or I guess my friend, he was like, you know, this person says that silver's going to hit this price and then do this price. I don't want to say too much because I might give it away, but basically just saying that someone thinks that silver's going to rally a little more and then just bomb. I mean, like 30s. And I replied and said, you know, most people's forecasts are very, 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 very wrong and way off, because unless that person has a crystal ball and knows all of the hundreds of different decisions and situations and future situations and black swan events and all of this, the unknown variables, the hundreds of them, unless he knows all of those things and what's going to play out, like he's psychic or from the future, then he can't say any type of forecast, because every single thing, every single unknown variable, which is most people don't think about or incorporate the unknown variable, all of those things really does affect the price of silver. So unless you know exactly, and most times a wrench gets thrown in and really messes things up. Like last year, asked the people if they thought silver would have hit 54, 52, this year in October. I highly, 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 highly doubt they would have said never. Or if they did, they didn't actually believe it. And that's just because nobody could have expected such a massive, sharp rally, especially given the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So don't take forecasts that seriously, because it's basically just it's not even an educated guess. An educated guess would be at least knowing or having insight on what's going to happen, but we're living in such a crazy time. So many crazy things are happening that we can't even make an educated guess. Maybe back in the day when things were a lot slower we could, but nowadays there's just too much happening. There's too much happening. So don't listen to price forecasts. With me, I set a price forecast from 2019. I said I think silver would skyrocket by the year 2025-26. Okay, but I guess that is a forecast, and I guess I was technically right, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you, exact prices. I could try to give my idea on what is most likely and what's less likely, but I have no idea, because you know how many things are going to happen from here till next year, from here till, November 11th, 2026. There's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of different situations that occur that's all going to affect the price of silver. And I'm going to cover all of them on a day-to-day basis, but we have no idea the outcome of those. Some of them we know will affect, like we know rising silver demand is, of course, going to help the price. We know that supply production slowing down is going to help the price. We know that silver being added to the critical minerals list from the U.S. is going to help the price, because now there's more money coming into it. We know all of these things. We know the dollar is, inevitably going downhill. We know that the LBMA and the COMEX are running out of silver. We know that, silver from the United States is going to have to figure out a way to go domestically, because all of these other countries are tired of exporting it to us. They want to keep it themselves. We know all of these different things, but there's also so much more that also affects the price. What's gold going to do, right? Is gold going to do this? Gold's price is mainly affected from the economy, right? Gold's more of a monetary metal, but actually nowadays, like April of 2026, you have India, which is actually pegging silver as real money, real currency you can turn in, with it pegging it with gold 10-1. And is that going to be the last time? What about? My whole point is there's so many things. A lot of them are beneficial for silver, and that's why I'm bullish. Like I just mentioned all of those, and that was just a couple on the top of my head. There's way more. That's just a couple of things that's bullish for silver, but there's also a lot of other stuff. Corruption, manipulation, so much other stuff that's also going to affect the price. So unless someone is from the future or has a crystal ball, then their forecast you cannot take seriously. Anyways, though, sorry for that rant. I'm sure that rant was much more entertaining than reading about the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Price Index dropping. And I think that's also why people like my channel, because I can kind of tell, I look at it from the perspective, if I was watching this video, would I rather hear what I just said, or would I rather read about silver plunging 7% to $48 on Tuesday, the 21st of October? I don't know. Maybe some people like that. I do have to, give updates on what is happening with the price and all that, but, there's more. We're silver stackers, folks. Whether the price is $48.75, $49.23, $43.25, or $52.17, I'm going to buy it. I'm just going to buy it and hold it. Interesting how that works. You just buy it and hold it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just buy it and hold it. hodl, hold on for dear life. Anyways, this is interesting right here though. Silver bullion storages reaches a 9-year peak. London vaults added 54 million ounces in October based on increased demand. So October is marked a wave of physical demand in India. I mean, yeah. Despite this, precious metals ran on a mix of hype and talks of debasement trade. Both gold and silver are expected to cool from their hype-driven rally, but continue to climb at the more sustainable pace, and that's meaning like a more gradual pace, which why we're seeing it go back up, breaking above 50 again, 51, but it's not going to go from 51 to 63. It's going to go from 51 to 52 to 51 to 55 to 53 to 58 to 60 plus, and then going back down, as it should. It shouldn't just jump, you know, like silver was up what, like 71% this year. Like that's massive. That's what crypto does, not something like precious metals. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here, folks. Hopefully you thought this video was educational, informational, or at least entertaining. And if you thought that, then make sure you click subscribe, click the bell, go enter my giveaway. May the luckiest stacker win. Check out American Medical Experts. If you're a veteran, use this day to, to help yourself, right? You deserve it. You really deserve it. And this company, you're in good hands. You get a free consultation. Just get the free consultation, set it up. You can schedule it, shows all the times and whatever dates you want to do. It's free. Check them out if you're feeling it, you like it, do it. If not, then don't do it. But, take care of yourself. So I see it there. I mean, I see a therapist right now. I'm trying to take care of myself. I got a lot going on behind the scenes, and trying to be responsible. Sometimes you got to give the darkness some exposure. You got to get that. You got to throw that stuff up, and you'll feel better. At the time, throwing up sucks, but after you throw up, don't you always feel better, right? You got to get that stuff out, and whether it's mentally or physically, you deserve medical benefits more than anyone else, more than any, foreign illegal immigrant coming over. So check out them. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.